This is Terry, and you're listening to episode 223.
Welcome to TerryWilson3.com.
Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Get ready to discover, develop, and monetize your skills and talents with Terry Wilson.
Thank you, Christopher B. This is Terry Wilson, and you are listening to TerryWilson3.com. Hope you're having a great week. I hope you're putting a dent in the universe. I hope everything you're touching is turning the way it should be, and if it's not, you're learning from it. You know, I've always learned if you make a mistake or if things don't go the way it ought to or you wanted to, well, if you learn something from it, you won't have to do it again. You know, there's a difference between going in circles and going in cycles. The difference is, you know, the good book says there's seasons. There's a season for this, there's a season for that. But if I'm at the same level and I'm seeing the same thing over and over again, I'm going in circles, I'm going nowhere, which means I did not learn the lesson I needed to learn when I went through it the last time. But if I'm going in cycles, that means I'm going up that mountain and up that mountain and up that mountain. In other words, I might be seeing the same things. There's downturns in the economy. There's challenges here. There's challenges there. But the last time I had the same challenge, I was at this level and now I'm at this level. If you're doing that, you're going in cycles, and that's what you want to be doing, not going in circles. Listen, today I want to talk to you about 8 ways to get mentally loose. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a creative person, if you're someone out there that's trying to make a dent in the universe, there are going to be times that you just got mental fog. I mean, the inspiration isn't there, or the motivation isn't there, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, you know, I'm just struggling to figure out, you know, how to get to that next point, that next level, that next obstacle, that next challenge. And so a lot of times if we feel a little foggy, you know, it's easy to get in that state. And so I want to give you 8 ways, and this comes right out of my book, You Are Worth More. And if you'd like to get a free sample copy of that, you can go to terrywilson3.com/worthmore. That's terrywilson3.com/worthmore. And I will show you, this is just a small portion out of one of the chapters that I think it's in the chapter where it says the 4th law of money that I was talking about, where it says, if you think education is expensive, then try ignorance. I was on a webinar one time, and I was showing this training package that I could show people literally how to use just a couple tools and a couple easy strategies, and they would have more leads, more clients than they would know what to do with. And if they would do it the way I would show them and train them, they easily could be making 300% more money in their business within 90 days. And the reason I say that is not just to throw that out there, some sort of, you know, puff piece, if you will, in marketing, but I've seen results. I've had it myself. I've had clients have. And one of the people on the webinar says, that's just awful expensive for training. And I think the training wasn't but $197. And I says, if you think an education is expensive, try ignorance. Because I have been ignorant in so many ways, in so many levels, in so many different situations, and it cost me way more than if I would have just stopped and taken the time to learn a couple skill sets, learn a couple things. I would have been in a much better and bigger place at that time. So I'm telling you, if you are struggling in one area or not, get with someone that's been there and gone to the place that you're wanting to go to. It will be well worth the investment. I promise you. You know, no man's an island. You're not going to get there yourself. I've been an entrepreneur for over 25 years. I'm going to tell you, my business exploded 4 years ago because I took the time and I took the money to invest in some coaching, some one-on-one training. And I felt like, hey, I've been in business this amount of time. I've done this, I've done that. What could this? And the guy was 15 years younger than me. And I was like, what is this little young buck going to teach me? You know, especially about business. And then he started saying that, and everything he showed me, I already knew, but I didn't know if you did this and you did this and you put it together this way, I could do this. And I want to tell you, just having, you know, and I spent $2,500 for these sessions. And I want to tell you, that was, at that point, was a lot of money. It's still a lot of money today, but at that point, it was a huge amount of money. And just making that investment, I'm going to tell you, my business literally exploded. So doing entrepreneurial work, doing anything that requires you to be on top of your game, you've got to be mentally loose. You've got to be, the brain has got to be a sponge where it's absorbing things and it's not contracting like a muscle. And just you're seeing different things. Things are being shown to you. You're living in a world where opportunities coming up left and right, but you don't recognize it. You don't perceive it because the muscles and the brain is just contracted like a muscle, if you will. And so I want to show you 8 ways to stay mentally loose. Number 1, start journaling. I know that sounds weird, but the science and psychology and everything that we've learned about the brain tells us that you are more receptive to things early in the morning. Your subconscious is more receptive to things early in the morning. If you'll get down and just say, hey, this is what I want to do today. This is what I did yesterday. This is where I'm at. This is the way I feel. I know this sounds a little mushy for you macho guys out there, but I'm telling you, if you will do that, there's just something about getting those thoughts on paper and then allowing yourself to go back and read later. It opens up the mind. It's training the mind how to process things, how to process thinking, how to process feelings, how to say, and also to keep a walking dialogue of, okay, this is where I was this time last year. This is where I'm at now. I will tell you, I did a teaching, and you can go on my website, $800 per day, how to make $800 per day. 4 years ago now, maybe, the laws have changed in health insurance. Everybody knows about Obamacare and ACA. It made a huge impact on my business because I was 95% in health insurance. That's what I was doing. And I said, okay, if I want to make this per day, my goal was $800 per day at that time. I want to make $800 a day. What kind of activity? What do I need to do now that the rules of the game has changed, the outline of the world has changed? What do I have to do? Okay. And I started journaling and I started writing down goals, and this is what I wanted. And all of a sudden my mind started opening up. Okay, this product over here pays this. This product over here pays this. I have this tool over here that I can use to get in front of the people over here that will want, need, desire, and can afford this over here. That's the type of thinking that's got to be going on for you to open up and be able to see opportunity as an entrepreneur. Journaling will help, I promise you. Number 2, meditate. I know you said, Terry, you getting in this Middle Eastern? No. I mean, whatever your thing is, your thing. I'm a spirit-filled, born-again Christian. I believe Paul says that on these things we concentrate on. This is not a religious show, but I will tell you, it's going to help you open up the thinking when you can stop and think and just listen, because I'm telling you, great ideas, great thoughts. You know, as a believer, we know James says all good things come from the Father of lights. What is lights in that passage? Is ideas, new concepts, new strategies, new ways of thinking and communicating and seeing things. That comes from just being still. Do that once a day. I'm telling you, it will pay off if you'll start journaling, if you'll start meditating. First thing in the morning, I've got a plan. This is where I'm going. This is what I'm going to do. These are my objectives today. You're writing that down. This is how I feel about it. This is the way I see it. And be honest. If you're upset, write it down. There's just something about that, getting those thoughts on paper and then reading those back and then meditating on it. It is going to help. It's going to loosen the brain, because the brain is you got to get it loose so it's like a sponge. Everything that you see, all of a sudden things aren't problems anymore. They're opportunities. Wait a minute. I can fix that. I can solve that. And if I can solve that in that particular industry, in that particular market, then I've just created value for myself. That's how it works. Number 3, cycle out your hobbies. Don't get in a routine where I'm doing the same. If you like golf, I'm not saying quit golf. I'm saying do something else occasionally, because it's just something about when you get in these routines, whether it's tennis, whether it's golf, whether it's walking, whether it's whatever, you get in this routine, your mind starts just checking out on you. You want to put yourself in a position where I sort of have to think about what I'm doing here, because it just don't come natural. If I'm a piano player, maybe I pick up the guitar that day just to have a different instrument in my hand, just to see if I can think a little different. So cycle out your hobbies. Don't get stuck in that same routine. Number 4, peripheral. What do I mean by that? Start just be disciplined to start saying, okay, I'm driving home. This is the same thing I see every day when I drive home. Pick one thing out that you never noticed on your way home. Pick one thing out when you're at the store. Pick one thing out around your home and just notice it and concentrate on it and think about it. I'm telling you, what we're doing here is we're trying to break away from habitual thinking and routine patterns that blinds us from other things that are going on. So anytime I'm looking at something, I'm going to say, okay, what's over here? And then I'll look. That's how you want to do. Have that mindset every day that I'm going to not only be focused on what's in front of me, but occasionally I'm going to take a look at what's beside me on the peripheral so that I can say, okay, take notice of that. Keep the brain loose. And that's how you do it. When we get so focused and concentrated on the same old everyday routine, it's always this way. I always drive this way home. I always do this. I always do that. Then what happens is we're not noticing other things that are going on. So pay attention to the peripheral. Number 5, a book a week. You've heard me say it on this show if you've listened to it at all. Earners are learners and leaders are readers. If you want to go to the next level, what? You have to grow to the next level. How do you do that? By reading and consuming new information every single day. And so the way you do that, I have a goal, a book a week. I want to consume new information once a week. Now, if you're busy like I am, the best way to do that is through audiobooks. And that's why I give audiobooks away by your favorite author, whoever it is. Go to terrywilson3.com/free book. Audibles is a great resource, and they've got hooked up with our show. They will allow you to download a free audiobook once a week. It's awesome. Great stuff. It don't have to be just in business. It can be in religion, faith, politics, sci-fi, whatever your thing is. I love John Grisham. I'm thinking I'm going to download some John Grisham books. I've seen the movies. Now I want to go back and hear the author. So you can do that as well. Those are great ways of getting more information and keeping that mind loose, thinking and hearing and being informed about other things that are outside your normal day-to-day routine. Number 6, challenge your perspective. I'm going to tell you something. The best thing you can do for yourself. If you're a conservative, start watching MSNBC. If you're a liberal, start watching Fox News. If you don't know what you are, watch CNN because they'll irritate you on either side. But the point is, every once in a while, get out of the echo chamber. If you're Calvinist, then watch some Armenian people and their thinking. And if you're free will or Armenian, watch R.C. Sproul's and some of those guys on the Calvinistic side. The point is, no matter what your perspective is on life, whether it be through faith, religion, politics, business, whatever, allow yourself to be challenged. And don't go in with an open mind. Go in saying, I want that person to convince me, change my mind, show me where I'm wrong. I'm telling you, when you can do that, you might not go from being, an elephant to a donkey or a donkey to an elephant, but you will understand a perspective. And I'm telling you, as an entrepreneur, as a person that gets paid to have influence and impact on people, that's where your income comes from, is your influence and your impact. And the only way you can do that is understand other people's perspectives, because without those other perspectives, how in the world can you communicate to it? So understand that. Always be consuming information that might not necessarily line up with your preconceived ideas and notions of how things ought to be. And number 7, and finally, teach. The best way to learn anything is put yourself in a position where you have to teach. I never learned the Bible the way I've learned it until someone put a Bible in my hand and said, hey, I want you to start teaching on Sundays, this or that or the other. And all of a sudden I was put in a position that I had to learn it because I just wasn't going to stand up there and go, I don't know. It put me in that position where I had to learn. If you want to learn something, teach something. It's the best way. If you want to learn business, teach business. If you want to learn inspiration and motivation, teach inspiration and motivation. Teach and give out of your need. You need something, then give it, because that's the way it comes. If he can get it to you, he can get it through you. This is Terry Wilson with terrywilson3.com. Listen, we're going to be having a conference coming up in March. I want you there. I want to show you how you can take your money, your business, your life, and everything to the next level. Hey, remember, if you want to go to the next level, you have to grow to the next level. And that's why I want to give you a free copy of my new book, You Are Worth More. Go to terrywilson3.com/worthmore now.
Thank you for listening to our show today at terrywilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at terrywilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
Man, it's a great system here. This is good stuff here. I wish I found this company 10 years ago.